Hey guys, I just entered this DraftKings best ball $10 million prize pool tournament. It's a $10 tournament. It's 10 or 11, whatever. It's cheap. We're getting in there trying to win $1 million. We drew the 3 pick. I have an idea of the route that I want to go for this draft. We'll see if it all pans out. Thank you guys for being here. Drop a like on the video, subscribe to the channel, ring the notifications bell, all those good things. Interact. Who's your pick from the 3 spot? You don't know who I'm getting yet, so make your decision. Let's go.
He's a legend.
Chat, type out who you want from the 3 spot before this 1 pick goes off in 45 seconds. Pollard number 1. God damn it. You maxed out on this tournament already? You're a monster. You're a monster. I am using Establish the Runs draft board. As you can see here, you can go to Establish a Run, !ETR in the chat if you're over on Twitch. There's a link down below in the pinned comment that'll take you there, smizzle.tv/ETR, and you get a discount on a new membership to them for all of your NFL DFS best ball needs. Plenty of premium content. You can download these for Underdog or for DraftKings to upload and have a better idea of than your opponents on where players should go, especially when you get deeper into the draft. Round 1, round 2, very easy. We'll see. It should go Jefferson and Chase 1 and 2. Then I have decisions to make. They have Cooper Kupp at 3. I have very little Cooper Kupp, and I've just used the latest down. I just downloaded these before went live. Chat says that they want a Kelsey stack. They think I should take CMC, Tyreek Hill, Kupp unless Chase falls to you. Chase did not fall to me. I'm not averse to doing 0 running back drafts. Why am I that far on the clock already? I'm going to go CMC. The clock is already off, which sucks. See, it's not that clock. I'm going to go CMC. They have Cooper Kupp over CMC. I'm going CMC in this spot. I have a plan. Whether or not that plan comes to fruition is a whole other story. But there's a route that I want to go to this draft. And later this week, I'm going to break down the $50,000 DraftKings best ball event. I don't know how to put it. $600,000, 12 players came in, paid $50,000 for a DraftKings best ball entry. I'm hoping to get the draft board from that soon from my host over at DraftKings so I can do a video on that. If I don't, I won't do it. But I have a route that I would like to go from the 3 spot. That draft got wild, by the way. Here's the draft board. Tyreek Hill. You should take A.J. Brown at 3, get Hurts and Smith on the way back. So I have tried that before and it did not work. That's a massive gamble. When it works, you're very unique, which is the point to going that route. Everyone has a plan until they get punched in the mouth. I agree. Was Tony Pollard number 1 in the big draft? He was not. Everything kind of going somewhat normal except for Eckler at 5, which I don't hate. Diggs, this should be A.J. Brown here or the next spot. Tried it a few times, never worked. I tried it once or twice. A St. Brown, not A.J. Brown, went next. Still, there are initials and Brown was the last name. Bijan, who is really flying up draft boards. I typically try not to take more than 2 running backs on DraftKings in the first 100 picks. That's just how I roll. There's been a lot of math showing that that is a negative EV route to go, specifically on DraftKings with their scoring system. Now, does he go A.J. Brown Hurts? No, he goes A.J. Brown, CeeDee Lamb. So 0 RB team coming. Running back robust from Island Jim, Chubb and Barkley. Now, look, I'm not against going with 2 running backs in the first 2 rounds, but if you start going a 3rd running back, a 4th running back, a 5th running back in the first 10 rounds, I think that you are putting yourself in a position where it starts to get very, very, very difficult to build a winning lineup based on the way DraftKings is scored. Amon-Ra and Pollard, love this for the week 17 correlation. To me, Christian McCaffrey gives me options. 1, it's not one of the 2 very difficult bye weeks. I think there's a 3rd difficult bye week being 5. Week 7 and week 13 are the 2 most difficult bye weeks to work around. A lot of great quarterbacks and stacks that share that same bye week. Kupp with Kelsey, he's fuming. Z-Shell is fuming right now with Chris going Kupp and Mahomes. Fuming. Absolutely incensed. Gibbs, he didn't know what to do. I don't think he knew what to do here. Z-Shell, upsetty spaghetti. Cannot be happy about what just happened. Jalen Hurts with Eckler. This draft is somewhat off the rails. And we're a round and a half in. Hurts going here. I don't think Mr. Fisher can get Smith coming back there. He doesn't go. Okay. He didn't go Waddle. I thought he was going to go Waddle. I'm not going to go Hill here or Allen here. I'm going to try and do a thing. This is the thing that we're going to do. We're going to draft Mark Andrews in the hopes that we get Lamar and build out this stack. Now, I don't know if he's going to make it to me because this draft is already off the rails. Chase should go Higgins. I'm going to get sniped. I shouldn't. This should be Higgins without a heartbeat. This should be snap call T. Higgins. Jefferson should be... He goes Lamar. What are you doing? This draft is already off the rails. He had an ADP of 31, right? What are we doing? He goes Olave and Smith. Allen's still on the board. If he goes Allen here. So, like, the plan was to get a Lamar stack, but you left me Josh Allen. Okay. What is happening? S. Summers, thank you for the 40 months. Like, if you really wanted to take a quarterback there, if you really, really, really wanted to take a quarterback here, you take Josh Allen over Lamar Jackson. If you take Jamar Chase in the first round and Higgins makes it back to you here, you take Higgins here. And then he reached on Mixon by a round and a half. This is premium. DraftKings August. Y'all got to get in these drafts. They're $10. It's wild. Time for the pivot? Yes. He even got Jalen Waddle on the way back. This is the dream for SYR05. I hope that he was a Syracuse graduate in 05. Go Orange. This is wild already. We are off the rails. But this is my favorite lineup so far through the first half. I wanted McCaffrey, Andrews, Lamar. I'll have to settle for Allen, who I think is better than Lamar. Because now you're going to be able to build two things. The Titans, you can build a Titan stack very easily. He's probably going to be able to get D-Hop on the way back. Tua goes a little bit later. Let's say pick 70 to 100. You can still get Tannehill around round 16. You can build Houston bringbacks for week 17. They also play week 15 and 17. 2 weeks in the playoffs for Tennessee and Houston. Just amazing. Diggs, Adams, Metcalf. This is a super premium 0 running back stack to start. Wouldn't be shocked if Lowen Saunders here is trying to build through a Chargers primary with one of Detroit or Dallas secondary stack. Justin Fields. 3 running back start for Island Jim. Not really. It's a joke. It's a joke. It's a joke. I really like Justin Fields. It's a joke. Everybody relax. Calm down. Have some dip. See if we get another 0 RB start here. Brown, Lamb. No. Jacobs, who just said he's going to report. So Josh Jacobs, you haven't really gotten a huge discount on him. He's going in 3rd round like the whole time. Also, Zamir White shares. Hopefully you were drafting him super late and not reaching up into like the 150s to get him. Travis Etienne. DJ Moore, so he builds out a stack. Solid, if unspectacular. I don't know that I love DJ Moore as a player. I've said this before. I love Justin Fields as a player. I think that the acquisition of DJ Moore is better from an on-field NFL perspective and from a growth of Justin Fields perspective, from a team perspective than is from a fantasy perspective. I'm not sure that DJ Moore is going to get 140 plus targets. And if I'm drafting a wide receiver in those first 3-4 picks, first 40 picks, I want to have that. It's not a 10-second clock. The clock's just off. What kind of contest is this on DK? It's a best ball draft. If you go to NFL and go to the lobby, click NFL. After clicking NFL, you click best ball. There's like little bubbles. You can click best ball. And you can see all the different best ball selections that they have. So I was wrong. He did not build that. Lowen Sanders strictly building week 17. Week 17 stack here, week 17 stack here. I'm going to say that Lowen Sanders is a knower. This is a sharp drafter at this spot. This guy at least knows he should be drafting stacks. So respect here from me. I don't really know any of the other names. Respect here, just on this is a dangerous team. This makes no sense. No respect for Nick. So now we've got this. Gabe Davis with an ADP of 62. I'm going to have to take him with that next pick. Don't want any of those guys. I think Gabe Davis might be our guy here. Why is it sorting like this? What's wrong with my ranks right now? DraftKings, what's wrong with my ranks right now? Where'd all my players go? No, I don't want to get rid of Davis. I'm fine there. There, finally. I know it's ahead of ADP, but I had to pick him at one of these 2 spots. But all my players had disappeared. I'd rather get Davis than not. What was I filtered by? There was no filter on. Because he's not going to make it back to me with an ADP where he was. So, I'm okay with it. Christian Kirk available to me here. I'm not going to take a running back. Could also take him. I think Christian Kirk is the way to go here. High target guy, builds out my wide receiver room. I still have the elite tight end, the elite running back, the uber elite quarterback. Player name search box. Fair. He was not going to make it back to me. I would ideally love to get Davis in the 6th round. I was going to take Kirk in this spot. Waller moving up to the 4th round is wild. This has been a new thing. He was available at like pick 70, and now he's up in this spot. Waller's essentially, he was a 7th round pick for the entirety. Now, remember I had said that week 13 is a weird spot, right? It's a really, really weird spot. You have Lamar Jackson on bye week. You have Josh Allen on bye week. You have the Giants on that bye week. You have other teams on week 13. It's a very tough week to build through. Herbert with Kelsey, I guess. A couple of games that they're going to play this season, but like week 17 is really the one. Hopkins did not make it back to this spot. He went with Joe Burrow. Okay. This draft is completely random right now, at least to me. So now we're in that spot where I can get the other guys that I kind of want. Week 13, week 7 are very brutal bye weeks this year. Yes, and sneaky week 5. Week 5 also a sneaky brutal bye week because of correlating or corresponding. Like you've got the Bucks, which you're not drafting many Bucks, but if you get Godwin or if you like, I think that Evans is a value. A lot of people are on the running back White. He's tough, right? Because then you got Browns with that bye week. There's a lot of players from week 5 and the Chargers. They're like, oh, I got these guys here. And then I went Chargers early, which means I need a running back in the after the running back dead zone round. Oh, Rashad White's there. Oh, can't draft him week 5. You have all these week 5 guys. Oh, I took Eckler. Now I want a second running back. Oh, I want a pass catcher. There he is. It makes it very difficult. Week 13, 7 are the first tier of bye week difficulties. Then week 5 is very sneaky right behind it. He went ETN. He stacked him with Lawrence, who have not been 6th round for Cook. Is that new? Has Cook slid up that high now? I feel like we're almost at the point where DraftKings drafts, he's sliding up to the top of the 6th round. Okay. I wonder if that's because of the injury to Harris, because Harris has been sliding from like 120s, 130 to like I got him at 165 last night in a draft. Like there's no risk at 165 for running back 5. Madison at 6'4", Pierce. We're the best players that we have available here. We have Deontay, Jackson Smith, and Lockett. Another week 5. So you start kind of looking at it through this lens. You got the Browns, Tampa Bay, Seattle, and the Chargers. It's a tough thing to make work sometimes. Not all the time, but it can be a tough thing to make work. There's some ADP values still on the board in this spot. There goes JSN, who's looked good in the preseason. George Pickens, ADP of 61. A lot of people's breakout candidate. Tyler Lockett, that leaves me Deontay Johnson. I'm going to take the ADP discount. 147 targets last year with a rough quarterback situation. That quarterback situation does look better right now going into this year. Pickens might be the alpha, but I still think that both of them could have over a 20 to 22% market share between the two of them. And it could be that Pickens has more touchdowns and Deontay is to 2023 what who was our guy last year? Deontay should be to 2023 what Miles Sanders was to 2022 with regards to touchdown regression. Marquise Brown, Alvin Kamara. I'm going to take the guy that I had spoken about before. I'm going to go with Rashad White in this spot from Tampa Bay. It was him or Javonte. And so I'm betting on Rashad White. I could be wrong because Javonte is a better player, in my opinion, when 100% healthy. I'm still scared. I've got this thing where I just can't take at ADP running backs coming off of knee reconstruction. I can't do it. I'm sorry. Week 1, Deontay, 2 TDs. Maybe. I'm firmly on regression candidate Deontay Johnson, especially at cost. You're not getting that many targets. Him and Lockett, very solid. Love the upside of Pickens. I think JSN above Lockett is probably a mistake. Not a huge one, but it's a mistake. There's 3 guys there. It's going to be tough to keep all 3 of them fed with as much as they want to run the football. By the way, did you see Coach Carroll just ripping up their defense at practice? Talk about preseason Twitter videos. Pete Carroll was out there throwing dimes at like 86 years old, give or take. There goes Javonte. If Javonte was available and it came back here, I'd have been okay with it. DK over Lockett is a mistake? No, Lockett doesn't have the same touchdown upside. Lockett is extremely consistent, but I don't think that Metcalf over him is at all a mistake. Just on the fact that I can't possibly see a season where Lockett has 15 touchdowns. And I can totally see that from DK Metcalf. Team looks solid so far. Hero running back. It's not the team I wanted. I wanted Lamar. And I wanted Davis here. Not here, but like that doesn't really cost me. I've got the upside. I'm missing Diggs, which I wasn't planning on going for because I thought Lamar would make it back here, especially with Allen still on the board. This was wild. That was absolutely wild. Is this a Smiz Gang community draft? No, this is just I entered a draft. This is me competing against 11 people that I do not know on DraftKings. Let's see who we have. Let's be prepared. Be prepared. Dun, 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 dun. Bye weeks, 13, 9, 6. Not that important. Quentin Johnson, not really buying at that spot. Tua at 90. Remember we were talking about him earlier. Sky Moore at 92. Yeah, let's go with Sky Moore. I'll draft the upside here with Sky Moore. It's a bit of speculation, of course. I believe that there are 3 wide receivers to have in Kansas City. And none of them are amazing. Obviously, Kelsey, the best pass catcher there with the highest target percentage. But Sky Moore and MVS are the 2 that are going to be on the field. Behind them is Watson, late. Antonio Gibson goes there in the top 100. We'll see who else. M Junior Law or MJR. Is it MJR or M Junior? What do you guys think? I think it's MJR Law. And there are 22 others of him. Not a fan of Rasheed. I mean, they keep leaving me who I want. I could go Richardson here, but I'm not. I'm going to go Cortland Sutton. And let's take a look how the draft looks through the first 100 picks for me. I like to stay at 2 or less running backs through the first 100 picks. Went hero running back with McCaffrey. Went Andrews, got sniped for Lamar Jackson. So I had to go Josh Allen, which changes the way that I'm going to do this draft. Allen, Davis, Kirk, Deontay, Rachaad White, my second running back in this spot. Sky Moore, Cortland Sutton in the 10th round. Now everything is wide open for me. It's not that I'm not a fan of Rashee Rice. I think there's too many mouths to feed. I think that there are only so many percentages of targets to go around, and it's harder to score points when you're not on the field. There's a lot of mouths in that wide receiver room, and all of them fall behind Travis Kelce. And so I want, if I'm going to draft a wide receiver, in that system, I want the ones that are just on the field more. And I think that the 2 highest snap rates are going to be Sky Moore and MVS. We know what MVS is. Behind them is going to be Watson. So those are the 3 that I'm buying. A slew of running backs for E. Harden. He kind of went hero running back, drafted 3 guys. He has no quarterback yet, but then he loaded up his running back room, which is a way to go. I think that elite quarterback, and probably if I'm stopping elite quarterbacks, let's say Herbert with the possibility that Lawrence sneaks in there, right? There's the elite quarterbacks. Then you've got a couple of others that I think can tier into the, that next behind the elite guys, that next tier with Trevor Lawrence. Guys like Deshaun, Jones, I think they could tier into that. Tua goes to the Tyreek Hill and Waddle team, as he should. Give me my week 17s. What are my Bills week 17 matchup, chat? Broncos or Chargers? Chiefs or Bengals? Jacksonville is Carolina. Pittsburgh, I don't know. They play the Pats. Okay, yeah, very easy. Plenty of Pats that I can load. I forgot that one, but I knew it. Pats are an easy one to line up. We'll show this. That way it keeps you guys on the board and keeps it above the camera. Pittsburgh plays Seattle. Nothing left on Seattle. I'm fine with Deontay just being a standalone 8 to 12 target a week guy. Kincaid. All right. Random Kincaid. I could have gone Kincaid here, but there was no need. Kincaid should have fallen to here. Kincaid definitely should have fallen to here. I'm telling you, DraftKings is just wild. Drafting Kincaid is the same guy that reached on Mahomes. There's certain people that you can tell are watching other people's teams, trying to figure out who they can take away, right? What does he think Kincaid is going to do for his team? Exactly. Jerick McKinnon. So I'm going to take Juju in this spot. So I miss out on the Josh Allen target upside, right? Getting Kincaid in that spot. But I get the week 17 matchup if this team can carry itself to that spot, to that week. Top running backs available. Warren, Penny. A-Chain hurt his shoulder this weekend. Harris is going to slide. You can see he's down to like 150 in that range. I'm still buying A-Chain. I'm still buying A-Chain with the shoulder. Still have Knox floating late. I do. And Shakir. Yeah. A-Chain, no serious damage. He got carted off the field and people freaked out. People lost it in Discord. I was watching. I was definitely watching in Discord. Speaking of which, make sure that you join our Discord at smizzle.tv/Discord. 6,000 plus members of the Smiz Gang strong. If you're a channel member here on YouTube, you get access to the VIP only rooms. You can also get access to those rooms by subscribing on Twitch, where during the football season, I am live many days a week, including Sunday morning before kickoff. So a Twitch sub or a channel membership on YouTube gets you access to the private channels in that Discord. It's $5 a month, and it's not all that much, and it's a great community. If you want to be better and surround yourself, be better at daily fantasy by surrounding yourself with people who eat, sleep, and drink the game across every different sport. Make sure that you join the Smizz Gang Discord today. Dalton Schultz. Warren had a good week in terms of preseason fantasy football. He looked really good. Solid backup, and if Najee is to get hurt, he is the clear next guy in line. What round are we on? 12. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. A-Chain week to week. Not so bad, exactly. Yes, I know I just dated myself with that. What was that? Was that Sesame Street or was that the electric company? Yeah, best Sesame Street with the pinball machine. Oh, man. Love that. That was a bop when I was like 4. Whew. That was a banger. Absolute banger. Chat is going nuts. Chat loved the reference. It was not Schoolhouse Rock. It was definitely not a bill. As you can tell, this draft being recorded live on twitch.tv/al_smizzle. MVS, Tyler Boyd. I was going to snatch up Boyd here if he was still available. It would have been an ADP discount was he available. Best players available right now. Myers, Mooney, Rice, Okonkwo. Okonkwo playing a lot of snaps. Played 100% of the snaps with the starters. 100%. That's basically all the percents. 100. 100 is all of the percents. Pick 142. Running backs available. Mitchell, Harris. Gonna go Gainwell in this spot ahead of ADP. There's a couple of later guys that I like as well. Ford's been hurt all preseason. Not drafting Miller here. Singletary around 170 is fine. Jeff Wilson Jr. 172 if you're not going A-Chain is fine. Gonna have to think about getting a backup quarterback somewhere. Kind of know where I want to go with it. We'll see if that works out. Marvin Mims 158. He ain't gonna make it back to me, but I have a Bronco. Gerald Everett, solid secondary tight end. I am getting an ADP value there. So I'm going to take him. I have the primary tight end. I have an elite primary tight end. I think that Gerald Everett is going to outperform. You have a lot of Mims? Me too. A-Chain kind of hurt his shoulder. Why he was carted off for a shoulder, I don't know. Unless they thought like he broke ribs and stuff and they couldn't move him, or thought it was a neck issue. I wasn't watching that game, so I don't know off the top of my head. I just saw it on Twitter and then saw it in Discord. So we now have 4 running backs, 6 wideouts, 2 tight ends, 1 quarterback. Plenty of late round quarterbacks for me to choose from. Knowing that I spent super draft equity on getting, in my opinion, the elite DraftKings quarterback. There's like 3, 4 of them. There's Hurts. There's Mahomes. Allen is really my favorite one because he's so much easier to stack. I typically go for Allen stacks. They cart away because the practice fields are far. It was during a game, wasn't it? Wasn't it during their game? I agree with you. In preseason, they cart everybody off. So I don't stress when it's a practice thing. They carted him off at the practice field. I agree with that. This was during a game. And Stefania is always right. Did E. Harden, was he the one that went ASRB early? No, he was not. What's going on with this? I'm sorry. That team's a hot mess. Carr, Pickett, Love. DraftKings drafts, they're just different, man. Where did Kincaid go ahead of me at 10-6? We were going to take him here, and then we were hoping to take Juju here. So, like, this draft was off the rails from the beginning once we got sniped on Lamar. So we're trying to piece it together. And DraftKings drafts can be difficult in that way. They seem soft. They do seem soft, but if you're trying to be a high correlation drafter, why are the Bills signing Ty Johnson? I would assume that they are worried about the injuries that they have had at running back. They've lost a kick returner / pass catching running back. They've got an injury to Harris. They need depth in that room. Chig Okonkwo, I really do like Chig Okonkwo, especially Dulcich not playing as much, like playing poker with bad players. Yes. So here's the problem. If this was a standalone draft, if this was a sit and go, I would have less issue, but I'm trying to win $1 million here. So I know, or we know, that to win tournaments, you have to make tournament moves, right? We have to do things that are going to help us. There goes Damian Harris at 165. I was telling you, he's falling to like 150 to 175 right now because of that injury. Gonna go with Mingo. 167. I'm picking him at 166. I like this spot. Musgrave way up to 178. He was in the 215s on DraftKings like a week and a half ago. People are finally waking up and realizing that he's going to start and play a lot. We're going to get the Mingo here. Getting the Mingo seems like, okay, let's do the thing. See if we can't get a double stack here. We probably can't. I've kind of started liking going Anthony Richardson with Alec Pierce as a QB2 when I get a QB1, and then Alec Pierce, in that round, well after getting Adrian, and I don't feel the need to get, anybody else with him. I'll take Dawson Knox in this spot. Let's take a look at the team. Let's keep hyper focused. I know I don't have a second quarterback, and I'm sure that that's making people extremely nervous. Our mod UNC is tipping, hey, if you're going to go Anthony Richardson, get Josh Downs later. Yeah, UNC guy. McCaffrey, Andrews, Allen. Still wish this was Lamar. It would have changed. It would have been the draft I wanted. When I draft 3, I want McCaffrey, Andrews, Jackson. That's been my route at 3. Unless Chase falls, then I'm going Chase, Higgins, and then figuring out when I'm going to get Joe Burrow, which you can typically get here or here. You can reach for it and get it here, or you can gamble on DraftKings and get it here. First 10 rounds, really solid. Moore, Sutton, Juju Smith-Schuster, A-Chain, Gainwell, giving me those 4 running backs. I can reach for lottery ticket guys at running back 5 and running back 6. DraftKings is 20 rounds for these drafts, so it does go a little bit deeper, and you can take chances because running back is such an injury-riddled position where backups do matter, and those lottery tickets that you can cash in with maybe a 40% guy that moves into a much bigger role, or an underappreciated guy, or a rookie who's going to slide into a much bigger role. They happen every single year. And because of DraftKings scoring, there's been plenty of studies, mathematical studies shown that just don't draft more than 2 running backs in your first 100 picks. Forehead. Gerald Everett, the Mingo, which sounds like a skin disease, and Dawson Knox. So not the stack that I wanted. I wanted to get Kincaid here in 10 or 11. Did not end up getting him. Ended up getting Dawson Knox. So I think he's going to play more than people realize. Dawson Knox is going to do his usual Dawson Knox things, which isn't all that super spectacular, but 7 touchdowns when it comes to best ball is going to be a guy who's going to slide into your lineup and be useful for a few weeks. And if it happens to be a playoff week where he is super useful, all the better. My intended route, let's talk about that. Since I said my ideal draft start from the 3 spot, right now, best ball tournament on DraftKings is McCaffrey, Andrews, Lamar. I think that's optimal right now. If you do that, you're looking to get 1 or 2 of the wide receiving group, which means that you're going to get Bateman here around round 9, and you're going to get Flowers hopefully around 10. I'm going to take him over him. I'm drafting Bateman over Flowers. I know that that's not always the way it goes. Rookies get accelerated in drafts. I think Flowers is going to be good. I think Bateman's going to be the alpha wide receiver in that wide receiver room, even though Mark Andrews is probably going to lead that team in targets. And then I'll take whichever one of Flowers or OBJ is left to me after that, giving me those 3 guys to go along with my Baltimore super stack. Can't have it all. I mean, yeah, but if we're going to talk about the optimal way that I want to go from this 3 spot, then I want things to be, I need to explain to you what that optimal is. I'm also not going to be drafting 3 running backs in the first 100 picks. So I'll take one of these guys in this 7 to 9 range, 7-8 range. Of all these running backs that are available, take your pick between Pacheco, Sanders, Williams, Cook, Herbert, Dobbins, Gibson, White, Kamara. I can't get behind this. I think Robinson should be going over Gibson. I've been banging that drum all preseason. I will still be banging that drum. Stroud going way early here. Young going in that spot. Ritter going there. Quarterbacks flying off the board. Curtis Samuel going there. Jimmy G with a 183. Tannehill, Mac Jones at 197. Rip to Trey Lance. I'm going to assure myself of my secondary quarterback with a separate bye week, getting Mac Jones in this spot, week 11, and I get the week 17 correlation. I'm hoping that Parker falls to me. May not happen. He's not the number 1 wide receiver on the board by ADP, so he could fall. I'm hoping he falls. There goes Hunter Henry. I was not drafting a 4th tight end, which is why Parker is my target here. You really love Howell as a late round QB? Yes. That's an easy double to build when you build through McLaurin in like round 4. Is that where he's going right now? Yes. Solid there. Let's go back to the draft board. Let's see where McLaurin went in this draft. Pull this up to here. McLaurin goes somewhere around this range, right? Where's McLaurin? I can't focus. Right there, round 5. So if I was to go McLaurin in this spot, it would be very easy to build F1 and then Dotson somewhere around here. Dotson! I got Dotson here. Where's Dotson? There. Wow, he went high. He's usually 8-9. You like the F1 Gibson Howell stack for pass catching? That's not bad either. All of it makes sense. Again, as long as you are thoughtful about the way that you are drafting these teams through correlation, if that is your first layer of thought, that I should be correlating my teams, you're already better than 50% of the drafters on DraftKings. It really is just that simple, okay? From a tournament perspective. Now, the players that are not worried about that, just drafting best player available in every different spot, those would be fine for best ball when it came to drafting sit and go leagues where you're just playing against the other 11 opponents in your league, but we're not doing that. Not only do you have to beat the 12 in your league to get to the playoffs, but then you're being grouped in pods, and those pods play like daily fantasy. And in daily fantasy, stacking is the most powerful thing that you have at your disposal as a daily fantasy player. So you have to be drafting these best ball teams with an eye towards correlation. That's 1. Okay. Step 2, if and whenever possible, correlating your teams for the playoff weeks beyond that first level of correlation, quarterback to teammates and pass catchers. So if you can get that week 17 correlation where it makes sense, then fine. But I'm not forcing it. The only time that I'm really Deuce Vaughn going very high. Only time that I'm really forcing it is early when I get like this. Pollard, Brown early. Then I'm like, I'm drafting all Cowboys and Lions because they play week 17, and I'll reach on ADP and just say, look, I'm going to have multiplicity of teams for this draft style. And because I'm doing that, I'm just going to use this team as that. This is what is left. It's somewhat of a motley crew. We have 4 running backs, 8 wide receivers, 3 tight ends, 2 quarterbacks. I may or may not take another quarterback. There goes Khalil Shakir. This draft was quite random. It really was. I'm probably going to end up, I usually end up with 3. My standard is 3, 6, 8, 3 on DraftKings drafts. 3 quarterbacks, 6 running backs, 8 wide receivers, 3 tight ends is my standard build. Let's go with Kareem Hunt. I think he's a little more spry. And then let's see if we can do this. Nah, we don't need that. That's not a need. All Hunter at 187. Is this injury that bad? Why is he available right now? Like, my plan was not to draft him. The plan was to draft him. But why is he still available? Why is Hunter Renfrow on the board? Like, I have to draft my team at this point. And I know that he's been a little bit injured. Tyquan Thornton in the 19th round ripped to my early DraftKings and DraftKings and Underdog drafts where Thornton was my guy in like the 160s and 170s. Now he's going like 220. What's my typical build again? So the standard build for me on DraftKings is 3, 6, 8, 3. Okay. That is my standard build. 3 quarterbacks, 6 running backs, 8 wide receivers, 3 tight ends. Now that's not set in stone. That's not something that I think if you don't do that, you're a donkey. I don't think it's about Jimmy G wide receivers. I think it's because he's been injured and hasn't played in the preseason. And so people are like, oh, he's hurt. He's going to miss half the season. Like people get freaked out. And then when somebody starts sliding in ADP, they end up sliding more because people overreact to the initial slide. There's not really a dead cat bounce built into that. You're about 50% 3 QB and 50% 2 QB. So if I draft 2 elite quarterbacks, I'm not going to draft a third. For this build, I could have drafted a third. I chose not to. There were a couple of spots where I could have gone with some Puka Nacua. I just want to say that. It's a name that I want to say a lot this year. Not because I think he's going to like have this, 10 touchdown, 1,000-yard receiving year. I just think it's a really cool name to say. Puka! Taysom in the 19th round seems very low. Didn't fit my build, but I totally get it from a late round tight end build. And there's merit to punting tight end, and there's merit. And when I say punting tight end, I mean taking 3 tight ends after round 16. You don't have a tight end till round 16, and you take 3 after round 16 to round out your teams. Where does elite end for you? I talked about that earlier. Like, Cousins and Geno are not elite, and neither of them will tier into elite or the tier behind elite. They're clearly tier 3 at best quarterbacks, where the elites are like the top 5, and then T-Law is behind them. There's like 5, 6 QBs in that first main tier, first and second tier, right? And then Behind them is T-Law, and then behind them you have all the guys that go from round like 9 through 12. But the guy in 9 through 12 who could end up in that first tier is Anthony Richardson. He's the only one who could tier into elite. Just like last year, Justin Fields could tier into elite if everything broke. Love this Kyron Williams pick. That's a really good pick. He has been a round 20 click for me when I need another running back on DraftKings and 18th round running back on Underdog. Lenny, the Jets spent draft capital on that kid. I get it. Not much left out there. No quarterbacks left out there. I think I just pound the week 17 correlation here and just get another Kendrick Bourne because there's no real upside pick in this spot. I've got my running backs. I'll take the one more wide receiver to round it out, which gives us our full team. McCaffrey, Andrews, Allen, Davis, Kirk, Johnson, White, Moore, Sutton, Juju, A-Chain, Gainwell, Everett, Mingo, Knox, Mac Jones, and the rest of the Pats who we can easily get late with Parker and Bourne. And I could have possibly gotten Hunter Henry as well. Filled in the running back room with Hunt and McBride, 2 lottery tickets late to go around this hero running back build. Thank you guys for being here. Look out for another video right there.
He's a legend.